Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you what we've been working on in Vanya over the past couple of months. If you don't know what Vanya is, it's a FHIR viewing app for Windows and Mac. It connects to most FHIR servers and shows you the data inside. So I'm sharing the homepage right now, and you can see I have 5 FHIR servers already configured. One is on AWS, one is the public FHIR test server, another is a Google Firestore, and number 4 there is the Happy test server, also public. And down the bottom we have a Vanya test server, which is hosted on Microsoft Azure. So up until now, you selected a resource type on the left, and Vanya showed you all the resources ordered by last updated date. So I've just clicked on observation, and you can see we have 28,000 observations in the test server. And I can click on any one and see details over here on the right, including the full JSON resource. So this was great for devs who wanted to see the changes their code had just made to various FHIR resources, but you couldn't drill down any deeper. You couldn't run queries like you could in Postman. Well, now you can. So we have a button up on the top here, FHIR search query, which opens a new window that looks kind of similar to Postman with space for a GET request. So the way we use this is we would start with the server address, just like you would in Postman. And this is the Vanya server that I was showing you earlier. And say we do a search again for observations, and it's going to show us, at the moment it's showing us 10 results, which is the default for the Azure FHIR server. So I might want to add a few extra parameters here to see different data. So maybe let's start by increasing the count. So we'd start by showing us 20 instead of 10, and maybe we still want to see it sorted by last updated date. So we'll add a sort parameter. And it's minus last updated because we want it descending. And I think that's spelled wrong. We need the capital U. And there we go. We can see the last updated date is today, 6th of July. And we can then start drilling down even deeper using different parameters. So for example, if we scroll through here a little and pick out a particular observation, we have one here for total cholesterol. And over on the right, we can see that's got a line code of 2093-3. So we could add a search parameter, code equals 2093-3. That will work, but of course we should really be using the system in there as well. So system bar line code. And now we see all the total cholesterol observations that are in the FHIR server. And you can see we don't see a total count up here. That's because the Azure server by default doesn't return a total count for queries, but we can insist on that by adding a parameter, so the total parameter, and make it accurate. So it'll tell us how many there were. And there we go, 517 cholesterol readings in this particular FHIR server. So over on the right here, we can drill down a little further. We can click on encounter. And we can see full details, JSON as well, of the actual encounter. We can click on the Return to Query Results button, which takes us right back to where we were. Again, with the second one selected and the details over here. So for example, if we were maybe on page 2 of the results, we select one here, choose the patient, and we can go back very easily. And this kind of navigation extends deeper as well. So we could click on the encounter, we could drill down into the participant, and at any point we can return to the query results back to where we were before. So very, very powerful. So what would happen if we had typed in, say, an incorrect parameter up here? So maybe we misspelled code, left out the D. We click on send now. We have a warning, which is an operation outcome right at the top. So the FHIR server still ran the query, but this particular FHIR server, the Azure server, this is the operation outcome that is produced as a result, saying the search parameter is not supported. So this is particularly useful because in the past you would have had to go through an entire Postman bundle of results to see if there was an operation outcome in there. You can now see this very, very easily at the very top of the screen straight away. Now different FHIR servers will handle this in slightly different ways. You'll see different types of messages and so on. Some might have the details filled in, some will have the diagnostic filled in, but the operation outcome, one or more of them, if they're in the bundle, will always be there right at the top of the page. So what you're seeing here is the work we've been doing very recently. It's not fully featured yet. Like for example, we don't yet support include and rev include parameters. So the result set will always just include the initial resource type you're looking for, like observation. Now we'll be working on adding support for include and rev include over the next couple of months. And once that's implemented, that should make this a very, very powerful application for developers. So what I've just demoed is not quite ready for release yet, but we hope to have a beta version containing the search queries available in a couple of weeks' time. There'll be more about that on the website as it happens, and I'll also post about it on LinkedIn. Feedback is always welcome, so any suggestions you have, anything you'd like to see in Vanya, please leave a comment or get in touch by email. We'd love to hear from you. So thanks for listening,